Okay, Leah asked that we talk a little bit about bridge bundling. There's been a lot of talk about bridge bundling on the Hill in Congress. In fact, our last transportation legislation, the FAST Act, had a provision about bridge bundling, encouraging the use of bridge bundling. For long-term bureaucrats like me, we think, what's the big deal? We've always allowed bridge bundling. States can do that if they wish. There's nothing that precludes it or stops it. If TDOT wants to combine 2 or 3 bridges in one contract, they can do that right now. What's the big deal? But at least this provision in FAST Act highlighted it, encouraged it, and encouraged agencies to try this method. With design build, it's been a little different, and there's been some successes around the country, some partial failures. I shouldn't use the word failures, some lessons learned. MoDOT had a hard lesson learned. They attempted to bundle 500 some bridges with a design build contract. And they attempted to do it with a design build, operate, maintain for 30-year design build concession, in which the design builder would not be paid anything until the completion of all 500 bridges, and then he would be paid over the life of the operational period. But that was a little too much risk for the industry to bear, so they ended up rescoping the project and coming out with a traditional design build project for 554 bridges in most of their counties, and that was successful. PennDOT has also looked at this through a public-private partnership, and they've got a 28-year contract with this contractor to replace 558 bridges through a concession contract. For them, it's working. They're designing, constructing, and then operating those mostly local smaller system routes for 28 years. So for PennDOT in Missouri, it has worked. Others that have done this is Virginia, Oregon, and New York State DOT to a lesser extent. But it is certainly possible to bundle bridges with design build. And you do see the innovation coming around mostly through scheduling and the use of appropriate subcontractors and ordering materials for this type of contract.
One of the things, too, that we wanted to mention is that the department is looking at all of the bridges that we need to deliver with the Improve Act. So the Structures Division, Construction, Environmental, and the regions have been closely evaluating those projects and working with STID in developing the planning report. So we're looking at it not only from a design build perspective, but also design bid build in order to deliver those bridges as efficiently as possible. So we want to encourage our local contractors that do a lot of our bridge building work to utilize both programs, and that's one of the reasons we had the industry meeting yesterday, is to inform our local contractors how the design build process works. But we plan to deliver many of those projects design bid build as well, with the potential of bracketing those jobs.
My question is, what type of bridges were these 500 some bridges in the state? Were they unique structures or were they fairly standard structures?
Pretty standard, 2-lane road, 1-span or maybe 3-span bridges, very simple. PennDOT's case, all over the state, all their counties, but fairly simple structures that benefit from repetitive operations.
Well, I know, I've had this discussion before. Tennessee box bridges are straight out of standard drawings. Span bridges tend to be bulky, box beams, fairly simple, not super complex. But the innovation you're saying comes from procurement side.
Scheduling, ordering materials, just mass production, and the ability to do a lot of works of a similar nature at different locations. Yeah. Cost efficiency is more than anything.